I have a much happier update for you guys than I had a couple of weeks ago. My broken finger is healing really nicely, I've got a lot of mobility back, and the swelling's gone down enough for me to be able to get a pair of gloves on and go for a little ride. This is the first time I've ridden the bike in just over 7 weeks, and I was so nervous heading out, so I just chose a little 15-minute route just to get myself back into it slowly. And it was a good choice, I think. I've told a couple of people that getting back on the bike after such a long break, or an even longer break, it's almost like starting again, and it really took me back to being a beginner rider, having just passed my CBT and heading out onto the roads for the first time. I had actual physical anxiety I could feel, and I could hear my heart beating in my ears, and I really think the best thing to do in that situation is to pick some quiet roads where you can practice riding again without being disturbed too much. Luckily it doesn't get dark here now till about 9 PM, so I can wait and head out later in the day when the roads are a lot quieter. One thing that really struck me as I was riding is I just felt really unfocused and distracted, and like I wasn't really concentrating on what I was doing, and I think part of it was the nerves, but I also think part of it was that I just had to learn how to control the bike again, and that takes up a lot of brain space. I had to think really hard about things like how and when to change gears, how and when to brake, and it's just hard to concentrate on so many things at once when you're also trying to keep an eye on the traffic around you. One of the hardest parts of the ride wasn't actually the higher speed stuff, it was trying to merge with traffic at this busy junction. It was all slow speed, less than 5 miles an hour, and it's my slow speed skills that have suffered the most since I haven't been riding for a couple of months. Trying to keep the bike in a straight line and not move too much to the left or right was really difficult, as you can see here. I also know this junction quite well, and I know that people never want to let you merge for some reason. It's not like they're going anywhere, they just want to be difficult. So in this particular situation it really hit me that it's hard to concentrate on so many things at once. You've got cars on your left and your right, you've got cyclists potentially, and you're just trying to concentrate on keeping the bike in a straight line, which isn't that easy to do. Unfortunately, if you're a learner and you're on L plates, people aren't going to respect those at all, and they're not going to give you the extra space that you need. I did manage to get the bike up to some higher speeds, both on the dual carriageway and on some twisties, and I really wanted to do that because I mentioned in my previous video I was a little bit worried about the front brake, and I was worried that it was binding, and I also couldn't really tell if the handlebars were bent, so I wanted to give the bike a proper run so I could check both of those. And in both cases the bike seems fine, it seems to steer fine, it seems to brake fine, and it doesn't seem any more sluggish than it would before, so I don't think that front brake is binding after all. But you always got to do an appropriate speed for the situation, of course, because you never know when a van's going to pull out in front of you without even looking. I feel like a real motorcyclist again. I was hoping to pass my IAM test by the end of September because my insurance renews around then, so I wanted to have the qualification ready so I could hopefully bring my premiums down a little bit. But I'm not sure now if it's going to take me a couple of rides just to get back to the level I was. I wasn't quite test ready yet, so I'm not sure. Maybe the September deadline is a little bit too short. But I'll have a little chat with my observer and see where he thinks I am. I really would like to get that out of the way. There's still plenty of time to enjoy some good weather and get some good riding in, so maybe if I just practice enough, I'll be able to still pass in a couple of months, but I'll keep you guys updated. I would like to thank one of my viewers for looking out for me. They commented on my other video and told me that I really should replace my helmet because I've had an accident in it now. They said that one of their friends had a very low speed accident, and then about a month later they dropped their helmet and it just completely shattered, so that was pretty scary. I definitely don't want that to happen to me, so I'm going back to using my original HJC helmet, which I've still held on to. It's a much cheaper helmet than my Scorpion helmet, and it's definitely not as nice, but I can make a comparison for you guys so you know the difference between a cheaper helmet and a more mid-range one. It will do for now. I'll probably upgrade it in the future, but at least I can get some riding in with a helmet that I know for sure is safe. One of the things I love the most about my bike is I just feel physically connected to it and like I'm a part of it, and like I'm sitting in the bike rather than on top of it. But on this ride I didn't feel that, I felt the opposite. I felt really disconnected from the bike, I was throwing myself around a lot, I slammed into the tank a couple of times, so I just didn't feel one with the bike like I normally do. But it's crazy how much of a difference that makes to your confidence and to your ability to just do things and move the bike around without even thinking about it. Trying to make some space for this car to come through without ending up in that pothole was really difficult, and it was really uncomfortable to do. I don't think it helps that I don't really trust that I could get myself out of that pothole if I got myself into it, so slow speed and things like that is just what I really have to practice, like I've mentioned a couple times already. And lucky I managed not to hit it. Overall, I'm really happy to be back on the bike and I'm really excited about it, and I still have some plans for the rest of the year that hopefully I'll be able to do. But on this ride I was pretty nervous and I just need to practice and get my skills back to where they used to be. I didn't have the usual cheesy grin plastered across my face, but I'm sure that will come with time. I also mentioned that I'm really excited to be back making videos for you guys, and I have some really interesting ideas coming up, so I'm excited to share those with you. Safe riding, and I'll see you guys in the next one.